Hello everyone, it's me, Nikki, and this is the start of 4 TBR videos because each one is for a different readathon. It's a lot of books, and it's probably too many books, and it's too much for me to handle. There's a word that I'm looking for that I can't find, but I'm going to do it anyway. I'm going to attempt it anyway. So the first one is the greekgodathon. I will link the explanation video down below. And essentially, you just pick a Greek god that you want to be on, and then there's 2 teams. Chaos and the other one, Control. And then you have a prompt for your main god, and then a prompt for the other gods on that team. And then if you want, you can do prompts from the other team. So my main god is Apollo. I always pick him. I don't know why. And that prompt is let the sun shine. And I'm picking... Oh, jeez. I should have put these in order, but I literally just stacked them here haphazardly. So... I'm picking Voyage of the Dawn Treader because I want to finish the series. It has dawn in it. Apollo is a sun god. Sun, dawn, shine. It made sense in my head. I don't... Well... I think I read the other 2... versions I have of this, and maybe I started to read this but then I stopped, so that was ages ago. And I know this has King Caspian and that boy that turns into a dragon, Eustace. Yeah, so it's just the 3rd in the series. It's got Eustace, who's new. And then who is it? Lucy and her brother Edmund are the only 2 of the original 4 in this one. And then they're all whisked away and gotta help Narnia again. Or, you know, just be there for the adventure. Okay. I'll put that there because that's a little book. I'm going to try to stack them neatly. Next is Athena, and that is Use Your Head. And I'm picking... right here. Fire and Heist. Because in a heist, you need to use your head and be smart. And Athena is the goddess of wisdom, among other things. And this is about Sky Hawkins, who is a were-dragon, and her family, specifically a wyvern, it says, human capable of transforming into a dragon, and her family steals things, basically. Her mother is missing. Her boyfriend broke up with her, and there's a real reason for it. And then she discovers a dark truth about were-dragon society. But it's a little heist novel, and I thought that would be a lot of fun. And it's about dragons, and you know I love dragons, so it's a good one. Next is Demeter, which is a beautiful harvest, and I have picked the Crimson Campaign. There's no cover on this one because it's from Thrift Books, and I think, is it the 3rd one that's called the Autumn Republic, or the 1st one? If I could spell, that would be nice. It's the third one. So I did want to read that, but I have to read this first. But harvest, you don't harvest do you harvest in the fall? Yeah, you harvest in the fall. I don't know how farming works. And so that's what autumn is. But crimson also, it's obvious, this is probably about blood, but crimson also makes me think of autumn harvest. It like makes sense in my head. So this is just a continuation of the promise of blood, and you know, stuff happened at the end of the first book, and our main character, Field Marshal Thomas, is like, what the fuck? So it's just like more stuff happens, and probably not good stuff. I don't really know how to explain it more than that because I don't want to spoil the first one if you haven't read it. I'm going to put that there because that's bigger. Next is Dionysus, Sinful Ecstasy. And for this one, I have picked same-sex unions in pre-modern Europe because they were thought of as sinful, but they weren't. I don't know, like I said, these connections make sense in my brain, but when I try to explain them, I'm like, yeah, that doesn't really make sense. But this is a history/gay studies, as it says right there, non-fiction book, obviously, about same-sex unions in pre-modern Europe. Skipped introduction. Is there a table of contents? I want to see if there's anything. There's a preface. Oh yeah. You got heterosexual matrimony in the Greek Greco-Roman world, same-sex unions in the Greco-Roman, views on new religions, and a history of same-sex unions in medieval Europe, that kind of stuff. So I think this is going to be very interesting. Next is Hera, I Am Woman, is the prompt, and I am picking Goddess in the Machine, because it is about a young woman, and it does have goddess in the title. I know the others are goddesses as well, and gods, but I don't know. It made more sense for Hera. But this is about Andra, who went into a cryonic sleep for a trip across the galaxy. But then she wakes up in 3102, 1,000 years. And everybody else she knew are dead. And their descendants think Andra's a deity, so they're calling her a goddess. She came from a machine, get it? And she wants to get back to Earth, which probably isn't the same after 1,000 years, but okay. And then there is Zade, Z-H-A-D-E, I'm not sure how to pronounce that, an exiled bastard prince, who doesn't want her to leave, and stuff happens, basically. This is a lovely, which edition is this? This is, it's an owl crate. It's got the sprayed edges. It's a little dusty. My bad. So yeah, I'm super excited about this. Watching me stack books is fun, I'm sure. Next is Hesta, which is heart or hearth warming, and I have picked Homeland. This is the first in the Dark Elf trilogy, but also the first in the Dritsto Erden. I have no idea if I even said that right. I have read this before, but I'm going to be rereading it to finish the rest of the trilogy because I don't remember anything. But I do remember he is a drow or a dark elf who lives in... They live underground or like in caves. I'm not quite sure. And he has a panther. Which you can see just right there. Whose name I can't remember. And this is like his first book, so he's a baby. And the panther, it's not like... It's like a companion because it wants to be, not because it has to be type of thing. They might even be connected mentally. I don't remember. But he somehow gets into trouble. And eventually, because the second book is called Exile, and he's eventually out in the world, and this is just like the start of his adventure, and it's got home in it, and hearth is where your home is, heart is where the home is. It makes sense, even though eventually he doesn't get to stay. And then finally is Hermes the Flying Messenger is the prompt. And I have... Where is it? Bottom, of course. Birds of a Feather. This is the sequel to Maisie Dobbs, which is a historical mystery set in... This is one's in 1930, but I think the first one might have been, maybe that was in 32, I don't remember. And this is about Maisie Dobbs, obviously. She is a PI, I believe, and she's in London. And in this book, she has been hired to find a runaway heiress, except 3 of her old friends are found dead. The heiresses, not Maisie's. So that's not great. And then she's haunted by the Great War. She was a nurse in the Great War, I believe. So I'm not, somewhere on the front lines, but I'm not sure how front. But still, she saw a lot of stuff. And I think she even had a fiance or boyfriend that was injured or killed. So, yeah. I'm gonna read that. And then, that is everything. I am not doing the other prompts for the other team. I feel like that would be way too many. So, yeah, those are the books I'm reading for the Greek Godathon 2022. It is for the whole month of March. And I think that's everything. Yeah. So, thank you for watching. I hope you're having a lovely day, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye!